UFC is the ultimate proving ground in the world of mixed martial arts. A coliseum where the strongest, the quickest, and the craftiest go head-to-head. In an arena filled with giants, the heavyweight division is where the titans roam. Every fighter here has the power of a freight train behind each punch. Welcome to the Global Fights channel. In today's video, we take a look at some of the most extraordinary fighters the UFC has ever seen. Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones, Sergei Pavlovich, Stipe Miocic, and Curtis Blaydes. Each of these fighters in their own way has turned the heavyweight division into the most electrifying spectacle in the UFC. Let's get started. Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes stands out in the heavyweight division with his elite wrestling skills and evolving striking.
I believe I'm the most dangerous heavyweight in the division.
Known for his dominant ground game, Blaydes has consistently proven himself as a top contender. Blaydes' most notable performance came against Alistair Overeem at UFC 225.
He's motivated, physically strong, so I'm expecting a good fight.
In this fight, Blaydes showcased his wrestling dominance and ground and pound tactics.
He's feeling good though with his offense. Blaydes is moving forward off that right hand.
He controlled Overeem throughout the fight and finished it with a devastating elbow strike in the third round. This victory solidified Blaydes' reputation as a master of the ground game and a formidable force in the heavyweight division, even though he faced a devastating loss in his last fight against the scary Russian Sergei Pavlovich. Stipe Miocic.
I'm a fighter. I've always been a fighter. But here at the fire station, I'm just part of the crew.
Stipe Miocic, with his mix of boxing skill, wrestling ability, and firefighting grit, has earned widespread respect both inside and outside the octagon, and is widely regarded as the greatest heavyweight of all time. Miocic's legendary status was cemented through his trilogy with Daniel Cormier, a series of fights that showcased his ability to adapt and overcome adversity. Miocic faced a setback when he lost their first fight, but he returned with a vengeance in the rematch at UFC 241. In this strategic masterpiece, he showcased his resilience and tactical intelligence. Miocic absorbed the early pressure from Cormier, weathering the storm of strikes and grappling exchanges. As the fight progressed, Miocic began to adjust his approach.
Oh, again. Oh, big shot.
Targeting Cormier's body with precision strikes. This tactic paid dividends in the fourth round when he unleashed a barrage of body shots followed by head strikes, leading to a TKO victory.
Ohio's Stipe Miocic waited more than a year.
In their third and final fight, Miocic once again demonstrated his championship caliber. He entered the octagon with a well-rounded strategy, balancing his striking and wrestling skills.
Went in and big one out.
Roll it all out.
Miocic controlled the pace of the fight and kept Cormier at bay while effectively countering DC's attempts to take the fight to the ground. His consistent performance throughout the bout led him to a unanimous decision victory, concluding the trilogy with a definitive statement about who's the more dominant fighter.
Still the undisputed UFC.
Miocic's first encounter with Francis Ngannou at UFC 2020 was another highlight of his career. Ngannou, known for his devastating knockout power, was seen as a threat of epic proportions. However, Miocic utilized his superior wrestling skills to neutralize Ngannou's striking, taking the fight to the ground repeatedly. This dominant performance led to a unanimous decision victory for Miocic, cementing his status as one of the most intelligent and adaptable fighters in the heavyweight division.
You made history tonight, Stipe. You became the first man to defend the heavyweight title 3 times in the history of the sport.
Sergei Pavlovich.
Готовы ко всем условиям. Сейчас самое главное — это пояс, это это мечта всей моей жизни, а остальное все мелочь.
Sergei Pavlovich, the stoic Russian giant, brings a sense of raw power and unrelenting force to the heavyweight division. The Russian was on a tear in the heavyweight division, racking up a 6-fight win streak before he squared off against Tom Aspinall. Pavlovich was knocking people out left, right, and center. He was like a human highlight reel, a knockout maestro who was turning heads every time he stepped into the octagon. But let's zero in on one particular fight that put Pavlovich on the map. We're talking about his showdown with Maurice Green. Everyone thought it was going to be a typical heavyweight slugfest, but Pavlovich, he had other plans. From the get-go, Pavlovich was like a man on a mission. He came out swinging with his intensity that just spelled trouble for Green. It was like watching a demolition in fast forward. Pavlovich's strikes were precise, powerful, and just relentless. Green, credit to him, tried to weather the storm, but Pavlovich was just on another level that night. And then boom! Not even 3 rounds in, Pavlovich lands a thunderous combo that sends Green crashing to the mat. The referee jumps in, and that's all she wrote. A TKO victory for Pavlovich, and it's over in a flash like most of his fights are.
Win number 2 for the Russian.
Jon Jones.
It's been quite the roller coaster for me.
Jon Jones is regarded as one of the greatest mixed martial artists ever. His career is a tapestry of triumphs and controversies, making him one of the most intriguing figures in MMA.
Who do you think is the greatest UFC fighter of all time?
Jon Jones.
His fights with Daniel DC Cormier were absolutely legendary. Their rivalry had everything. The trash talk was on another level, and the controversy spanned from talks of wild parties to disqualifications. It was like something out of a movie. But through all that drama, Jones just kept proving why he's often hailed as the GOAT in MMA circles.
Jones trying to
That's it. He's out. Wow.
And again, the new...
But let's rewind a bit. One of the most iconic moments in Jones's career has got to be that first bout with Alexander Gustafsson at UFC 165. It was billed as just another title defense for Jones, but it turned out to be one of the greatest light heavyweight battles ever. Jones was pushed like never before. Gustafsson had the height, the reach, and the skills to match. And for a moment, it looked like Jones might have met his match. But despite being bloodied and pushed to the brink, Jones dug deep. It was an all-out war for 5 rounds, and by the end, Jones's hand was raised after a unanimous decision. Though I gotta say, I think Gustafsson won that match. Fast forward to his heavyweight debut, he faced none other than Cyril Gane, a top contender in the heavyweight division. The question on everyone's lips was, can Jones bring his A-game to the heavyweight division? And boy, did he deliver. Jones just stormed in there with a strategy that seemed to catch Gane completely off guard. He managed to get Gane in a choke, and before you knew it, the fight was over. Jones, with his arm raised in victory, just stood there like he'd been ruling the heavyweight division for years. This win was a loud and clear message to the heavyweight division. Jon Jones has arrived, and he's here to dominate, just like he did in the light heavyweight class. Tom Aspinall.
I wasn't put on this earth to do anything else apart from fight. I'm destined for the belt, and I absolutely can't wait to go to Madison Square Garden.
Tom Aspinall, the dynamic heavyweight from England, has taken the UFC by storm with his agility and technical prowess. A master in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and boxing, Aspinall stands out in a division known for brute strength, offering a refreshing blend of speed and technique. Aspinall's unforgettable moment when he faced Sergei Pavlovich, a seasoned veteran and one of the most feared fighters in the UFC, for the interim HW title.
Empire State Building looking down upon MSG. One of the bigger mixed martial arts fans I know, President.
Nobody expected this fight to go the distance. From the start, both fighters were eager to gain momentum. In a lightning-fast sequence in the opening minutes of the first round, both Pavlovich and Aspinall swung for the fences, trying to get a fast knockout win. Just when it seemed that Pavlovich was gathering momentum, Aspinall caught the Russian with a brutal punch straight to the temple, which rocked Pavlovich. The British heavyweight quickly pounced on the newly found opportunity and seized the deal with a barrage of punches that sent Pavlovich to the shadow realm. It seemed too easy, but that's just how good Aspinall is.
Aspinall is the real deal. And with the winner, Tom Aspinall, an incredibly emotional moment for you.
If you ever get the chance to do something and you're scared to do it, you should definitely do it, because there's a chance it's going to pay off.
These five have shown us what MMA is all about: skill, guts, and unbreakable spirit. Every time they step into the cage, they add fuel that fires up every MMA fan. So, when we talk about these fighters, remember, we're talking about the cream of the crop, the best of the best in the UFC. Their legacies will be talked about for years to come, inspiring new generations of fighters. If you want to see more MMA content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fighter and post-match analysis and in-depth breakdowns. Peace.